And I think that one of the things academically, we get really caught up in identity and who we are, in our ethnicity, in our gender, in our expression of these things that make us who we are. I've felt, and I know that some of my students and some of the men and people that I work with have reflected this as to me as well. So I know this is not just my own interpretation, but at times, some of those identities can be disempowering, even though they feel empowering. Right. And at least for myself, and part of the task and part of the goal of what we are doing, um, is hopefully to allow people, or to offer people, or to invite people to see themselves through the lens of the mountains. So, I'm sitting at the base of the Eastern Sierra right here, and to see themselves through the lens of the river, or to see themselves through the lens of the bear, or the hawthorn, or the pinyon pines that dot the hills behind me. And that's a very different kind of identity, right? Because it's not an identity rooted in individualism, it's an identity rooted in belonging. And so I wonder, I know belonging is, that's just such a big thing that we do in men's work, and such a big thing, a big part of like how I know you as a man, helping people belong. What does it mean to belong? What is the power of that?
Yeah, I think you really touched on it. It's like with Tico, the mind virus works to confuse us into thinking that we don't belong, right? But there is this aspect of survival, of power being placed in the hands of the grocer and the what do they call it? The chain of delivery systems and all these things that continuously removes us from place and makes us both global and hyper isolated at the same time. To me, belonging, there's multiple levels, right? It's what we cultivate the belonging first in our home, how we set up our home, what are the reflections that our home gives to us, in our relationships, with our spouses, our partners, our children, and this ever expanding relationship of reciprocation. And so to me, a lot of what belonging is the ability to recognize the tasks of reciprocity within self and ecosystem, self and marketplace, self and society, self and family, self and institution, right?